this is me again, your MBA buddy. First of all, I would like to thank all of you who went through my previous videos and connected with me personally with their queries and doubts. Most of you asked me about the career gap and how it affects the MBA application. Also, if it is wise to quit your current job to prepare for GMAT. So, this video is dedicated to cover both of these questions. First of all, a career break is something that most of us have taken or will take in the future. A person can have a career gap for a lot of various reasons. Maybe health issue, maybe you want a break to figure out your next step in your career. Maybe your current job was not fulfilling for you and you want to give a chance to follow your passion, or maybe you want to take a break to rejuvenate yourself to perform better. Well, reasons can be anything. MBA aspirants who have career gaps in their resume may find apprehensive about how their application would be perceived by the AdCom of their targeted B schools. Well, your fear is completely justified. But there is a way to address this gap. In fact, with a proper storyline, you can take it to your advantage. I have career gap in my profile. After my undergraduation, I wanted to give myself a chance to pursue my career for research, and for that I had plans to enroll myself for an MS by research degree from a top IIT. The only way for me at that time was to crack GATE, or the Graduate Aptitude Test for Engineering. When I looked at the exam syllabus, I realized that I need some time to really prepare for this exam if I want to score well and get into my dream school. So I already had a job offer in my hand at that time, but I decided to follow my heart, rejected the offer, and took a 6 months gap to prepare myself well for the GATE. I scored well and got into IIT, and then I chose my interest field of e-mobility. This is a real story, and I wrote exactly that on my application. The best part about INSEAD is that the application has a separate section to explain any gap that you may have had in your career. The reason why this question is there is because B schools like INSEAD are aware of the fact that students may have career gaps, and they're given a chance to explain it to the AdCom. Now, some of you may have employment gaps, may have taken longer than usual to finish off your degrees, so you won't be the only one with gaps applying for the B school. Now, the best way to address this is to communicate it to the AdCom. And how do you do it? Number one, be clear and honest about it. Don't leave anything ambiguous. If you mention the gap here, but you didn't give any explanation, it may do you more harm than good. If you leave it to the imagination of the AdCom, then they may speculate much worse than what the reality is. Number two, be open about it. If you restrict information, it might come across as someone who's trying to cover something. Now, your attitude and your way of handling this point is going to reveal your personality to the AdCom. So make sure you turn it to your advantage. Number three, share your learning. Gap years always come with experience. You would have had your reasons for taking that break. So make sure you highlight how that decision or circumstance changed you, developed you, and what did you experience. Show how the gap year made you realize your strengths and weaknesses and how you are leveraging the lessons now. And number four, make the most of your essays. Essays are the best opportunities to showcase yourself, talk more about yourself than you can actually put it in your regular CV. Articulate your essay and you would have an amazing story to tell. Now comes the second part. Should I take a break from my current job to prepare for GMAT? Well, some of you reached out to me saying that you have a high pressure job and you need to travel often. You need to work at odd hours. You are unable to give time for the GMAT prep, and you want to get into your dream B school. So doesn't it make much more sense to take a break now to give all your concentration to MBA application? Well, we Indian students take break to prepare for important exams, be it IIS, IIT, NAAT, CAT, etc. But when it comes to international MBA, this practice is unusual for the AdComs that get profiled from around the world. International MBA programs are very rigorous, with time management part being super tricky. This is more true for one-year MBA program, which is even more intense and requires you to juggle among a lot of things: projects, assignments, social networking, lectures, seminars, preparing for mock interviews, and the list goes on and on. In other words, you really need to be efficient and maximize your output in the given period. Now, the period just before your MBA application is going to be super important because your fellow competitors from the other side of the world may be working very hard to get maximum from their current jobs to add additional value to their profile. They may be taking leadership roles more than their actual job profile. They may be gaining international experience, and all this hard work can improve their chance of getting into their dream school and helping them stand out of the rest of the candidates. So, if you take a break at this point of time to prepare for GMAT, you would have a very tough time to explain the need of this break to the AdCom. If you're feeling overburdened about handling your application with your current job, this can actually raise serious doubts about your capabilities to survive in a competitive B school. So, this break can be a setback to your overall application. So, if you're asking my honest opinion, resist this temptation. You can follow a lot of practices like start your B school research very early. I remember I started my research in 2020, which right now would be exactly 2 years back. So spend time on forums and school websites to gather information. You can devote more time on the weekends than on a weekday, but make sure you do it every day. Now for GMAT prep, you can use GMAT books, online coaching, offline coaching, one-on-one tutoring. There are separate GMAT club forums, etc. And with online coaching, you can access materials any time of the day, anywhere, even when you are traveling. Also, your GMAT score is valid for 5 years, so you can take sufficient time to actually polish your essays. Unlike the CAT exam, GMAT can be taken round the year with 5 attempts in 1 year. So, take your exam when you are absolutely ready. What helped me immensely was a time schedule with details to every hour. I would ensure that I have my schedule ready for the next day, the night before. That helped me to prioritize my stuff and not waste time on unimportant things. So, all it requires is proper planning. And this lesson will be carried forward during your MBA. So, hone your planning and strategic attitude now itself. That's all for this video. In the next video, I shall be discussing about GMAT prep, taking example from my journey. So please stay tuned. And thank you once again for listening to this video. I hope this gives a little more insight to career gaps and your decision to quit your job for the MBA preparation. Once again, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so.